Old School returns, and it's a viewer's request. Big shout out to my brother Matt, who asked me to take a look at Battle... What's it called? I should know this. Battle Arena Toshinden. Come on, Mike. Let's start the video again. Right, here we go. Welcome back to Old School. Battle Arena Toshinden on the PS1. Viewer's request. My brother Matt loved this game. I think I've played it before. We did get this in the UK, didn't we? Or in Europe? Of course we did. Where's my guy? He's the elderly... that guy. The elderly fella. Yeah, Foe. So, you could play this on the Saturn, you could play this on MS-DOS, and you could play this on the Nintendo Game Boy. I don't remember the Game Boy version, I have to admit. But like I said, I think I've played this before. I'm not entirely sure. I might have played it like this, via emulation. I don't know if I've played this natively on the PlayStation controller. Matt, if you're watching, you better be watching. You requested this. I'm joking, of course. Yeah, let me know, mate, if we owned this or if we rented this. Because my brother and I shared the PS1. It was mine, really, because I bought it with my supermarket wage. I was studying at the time in around 97. I want to say 96, 97, 98. And yeah, like I say, Matt would buy games for the PS1 and we'd play some co-op where possible. Anyway, you don't care about that, guys. What about this game? Well, I'm terrible, so I always have to say this in these videos, but I am awful at beat-em-ups. I'm not good. So do bear with me. I'm going to butcher this game. Like, I'm going to be butchering the character movesets. I won't be able to do anything. I might spam some moves like that. This is fantastic. I've definitely played it. The music, everything about it's all coming back to me. Like I say, I remember this dude. He was a serial killer, wasn't he? If I'm thinking of his backstory. This elderly chap. Was he Chinese? I want to say he was Chinese. He's either Chinese or Japanese. I think he was Chinese. Oh, that was good. That was good. Look, I'm ducking. Oh, do you see that? That's quite creepy looking, wasn't it? Like something you'd get in a horror movie. Foes little crawling on his... whatever they are. Are they not size? They're kind of like what Shredder has on his gloves in the Turtles. Kind of. Maybe not. But this is good. This is a good game. I was reading the wiki earlier, or a bit of the wiki, because the wiki article for this is very in-depth. It goes right into the history of this game, etc. But what I found interesting is one of the first games to use polygons after Virtua Fighter. I found that extremely interesting. I always assumed Tekken would have been one of the first on console to do that, not this. But it just goes to show what I know about the Battle Toshinden series. Now, we did get loads of these games, didn't we? Didn't we get 3 or 4 of them? I should know this. I was reading the wiki earlier. I think we got 4 of them, maybe more. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the replies, as you always do. It runs on the Hyper Solid engine. I do remember that. That means nothing to me, by the way. I'm not entirely sure what other games used that engine. And it's a cool-ass game. I absolutely love this. It's fantastic. We'll get to review scores in a bit. That's the only screen I have got. Or that's the section of the wiki article I've got open on my other monitor. And like I say, I'll give you some scores from back in the day, from the magazines around the time. I don't know if I like this Foe guy. I'm sure I used to play as this dude. He's a bit... well, he is elderly. I was just going to say, he's a bit slow. Kavin looks a bit more athletic, doesn't he? Well, he is more athletic. Come on, Mike. The music is... oh, wow, I didn't even know how he did that. The music is incredible. Oh, the PS1, the memories that I associate with the PS1. I harp on about this a lot on the channel. A lot of people's favourite PlayStation is the PS2. If we're going back in time. Mine's PS1, it always will be. It was the arcade machine in your bedroom. Or it was similar to having arcade games in your bedroom. Not quite as polished as the arcade games. But it was up there. It was, yeah, it was special having CDs for the first time in my case. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, don't die. I thought my guy was going to die as well for some reason. Look at my energy there. That was the closest round I think I've ever had in a beat-em-up. Sophia, I remember Sophia. Yeah, I've definitely played this. I'll stop saying I've definitely played this now, because I have. I've definitely played this. Let me know your memories with it, guys. Do I like it as much as Tekken? Let's compare them both. I prefer this to Tekken 1, but I prefer Tekken 2 to this. I went back and played Tekken 1 a couple of weeks ago. I forgot you could fall off the edges. Lose.
Anytime, anywhere.
That's right, she's Russian. Yeah, I tried Tekken 1 a few weeks back. I'm not keen on it, guys. I don't think it's aged well. That will get tongues wagging at the back. Some of you won't like that. But yeah, I'm not keen. Tekken 2, I think, is a masterpiece to this day. Bit rough around the edges, though, even Tekken 2, but I still absolutely love it. But this is very enjoyable. I like beat-em-ups with weapons. There needs to be more of them. Give me some other beat-em-ups, guys, with weapons, please. Because I don't know many. I used to be huge on this style of game when I was, like, I would say when I was in school, in the 16-bit era. Street Fighter 2, the first time I laid my eyes... Can you lay your eyes on something? But the first time I saw that cabinet in the arcade, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. I could not stop visiting that arcade then and playing that as my favourite character, Ken. It was just love at first sight. And then Mortal Kombat, obviously, on the SNES. I mean, the SNES version of Mortal Kombat was rough, but very enjoyable at the time for me. I thought the graphics were amazing in that. I actually played it on the SNES before the arcade. We also had some awful beat-em-ups, didn't we? Like Pit Fighter. I never got into that. But I absolutely loved this genre of game is what I'm getting at. Completely fallen off. Oh, she's fallen off now. Love it. Talking about falling off. That was weird. But I've completely fallen off this genre of game. I don't really play them anymore. Because... Right, there you go. That's what pause does. Or that's what start does, I should say. Because I don't want to say I get bored. It's not the right word to use. They don't hold my attention long enough. They're good to jump in, have a fight, jump out. Perfect for that, actually. And they're also brilliant if you're having, like, a party, you've got friends over, and Winner Stays On. I loved Winner Stays On. Loved it. PS1 days. I don't think I played this on the console because we would have had Winner Stays On competitions as we did with Tekken 2, and I remember that well. I don't remember us playing this. I must have emulated this before somewhere. Somewhere, somehow. I gotta try Duke. Play as Duke in a bit. It does that annoying thing when you continue. At least I think it does. You can't change a character. You have to let the timer count down and then go back to the start screen. I liked it when beat 'em up started incorporating that character select into the timer. The cooldown timer, or whatever it is called. The game over timer. Insert more money, basically. This is fantastic. Looks incredible. The soundtrack, so far, every track I've heard has been brilliant. Especially the last stage against Sophia. The, like, 90s dance. Almost 90s rave sort of soundtrack. This is a Japanese developer behind this game. I think I remember reading that earlier. Oh, I was going to kick off with some wailing rock guitar then. Some proper cheesy rock guitar. So I'll let this count down because I want to try a different character. Maybe Duke, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Duke absolutely kicked my ass then as well with his big sword. Stop it. This is just so cool. I love the way it's presented. Really love the presentation with this game. What's versus computer? What's the difference? Oh, well, I get to select my opponent. It's like friendlies in the footy games, basically. I'm gonna try Mondo. I like the looks of him. Against Fake Guile. Rungo. The names are terrible, aren't they? Of the characters. I think they are. Oh, he's got like a staff, Mondo. Spear? Is it a spear or a staff? Can it be both? I don't think so. I like the graphics of the sky. Reminds me of Sega. I've talked about this before. I think on my Virtua Racing video I did a couple of months back. And I said something along the lines of, you always knew what a game was Sega just by looking at the sky, the graphics of the sky. Well, this isn't Sega. And it's not quite as deep and blue as it would be on a Sega game. Anyway, Fake Guile wins round 1. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I am admittedly mashing buttons. I am trying stuff. But what I'm doing is trying Street Fighter controls. Like, I'm trying to do the Hadouken sort of thing. Like, down, diagonal, right. And then square on the PS5 pad. But I got to get Street Fighter out of my system. This was around... I want to say this came out before Street Fighter 2, but it might be wrong on that. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong on that. Because I was playing Street Fighter 2 when I was in school, when I was studying. Because we had Street Fighter 2 competitions in school. I've talked about this on the channel before as well, but you might not have heard me say it. You might be new to the channel. Welcome if you're new. All of my videos are like this. No structure. I go off on tangents. I rarely talk about the games. Welcome. This is the best video game channel on YouTube. But yeah, Street Fighter 2 came out before this. It's what I was getting at. It definitely did. I hope I'm right on that now. I'm going to feel silly otherwise. I think Street Fighter 2 was like 93, 94 sort of time. I was extremely... Well, I wasn't extremely young, but I was young. By the time this would have come out, I would have left school. And obviously, this is graphically more impressive than Street Fighter 2 in a way, because Street Fighter 2 was 2D, wasn't it? Whereas this has got the... Like I touched on earlier, the polygonal, is that a word? The polygonal sprites, being able to go up and down with the scenery. As Rungo did there. I mean, when you hit the L2 for me, you do like a roll. I found block, I think. I've finally discovered block. It didn't seem to be working earlier. I'm just sucking though, guys. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's try a different character. Yeah, let's call a spade a spade. Stop saying call a spade, Mike. I'm absolutely awful at these games. Always have been, always will be. I was alright, actually, at Street Fighter 2. I was handy. I will stop talking about Street Fighter 2. It is probably my favourite beat-em-up of all time. Either that or Mortal Kombat. The two obvious ones, I know. It must be Duke, I think. Must be him. So we're back into the arcade mode now. Let's see if I can go on a run. Famous last words. I'll glance, guys, at some reviews, so don't expect me to do well as I'm glancing at another monitor here. That's my excuse. There you go, I'm getting that in early. This scored at Dragon 3 out of 5. Now, who the hell were Dragon? I do not remember that publication. Was it a magazine? We will never know. Well, we could know if we looked it up, but I can't be bothered. Famitsu, the Japanese publication, gave this a 30 out of 40. That's a very high score for Famitsu. They're very, I wouldn't say hard on reviewing games. They take it very seriously, though. Look at that. Rungo is down. It's more like it. GamePro gave it 18 out of 20. I don't like all these weird scores. Just score it out of 10 or out of 100, please. Thank you. Games Master. Games Master, a magazine I used to buy. There's also a TV show here in the UK on Channel 4. It was... I loved it back in the day, but it was, with hindsight, absolutely terrible. 88%. Games Master. This guy had a good score. Hyper. I'm Hyper. I've been drinking too much Coke Zero. Look, I can't get my words out. Hyper scored this 92%. Other Coca-Cola brands are available. Next Generation gave it a 4 out of 5. etc., etc. Loads of high scores. Didn't see it get lower anywhere than an 8. So, yeah, it's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Good call, Math. Good suggestion. Math always suggests the beat-em-ups, as does one of our awesome subscribers, one of our administrators of the channel here, Mateus. Mateus likes his beat-em-ups and his skateboarding games. I'm always getting suggestions from those dudes to play games that are not in my comfort zone, because I'm really not in my comfort zone here at all. It's KN next. And yeah, it deserves the plaudits. It deserves the 8s and the 9. I would say it's a solid 8 out of 10 game. I still prefer Tekken 2. Tekken 2 was a bit newer though, wasn't it? It's like they're doing a synchronized dance. Reminds me of the dancer boss in Dark Souls 3. One of my favorite boss fights of all time, that, as an aside. Anyway, I love this game. I think it's great. And yeah. If you like this style of game, give this a try. You'll enjoy it. Maybe you've played it before. Again, let me know your memories with it. I'll speak to you all soon.